All right, to start with blocks on Notion, I'm going to create a new page, and there are different ways of doing that. I can click here and I'll create a new page. I could also add a page here. A page is nothing like another block that is a page block. Or even on the page, the magic key that you're going to love how to use is this / key. And that is just going to launch all of these different blocks. So I'm going to I'm using the keyboard, just the arrow down, and I'm going to hit enter. And I've just created a page by selecting the type of block that I wanted to launch. So I'm going to Notion blocks. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter. We're going to look into, if I go back and, ignore this stuff for a little while. I'm going to cover that when we talk about databases. But for now, I'm just going to hit enter and start the page as a completely regular page. You can see that it's getting started, and Notion blocks is inside the getting started page. But if I create another page here, let's say new page, I don't know, let's just create a new page 1. You can see that it has created it on the sidebar just from at the same level of getting started. So, and in the same way, I could move this here, and that new page is going to go inside new page. And if I want, I can put stuff, I can like drag this around. So just really get used to dragging blocks around to move them before we have to like control cut and control C. Here, just by moving things around, you can place them in different places. So let's work from here, and I'm just going to hide this for now from view. It can be intimidating because it's a blank canvas, and sometimes that can be scary. So what I want to do is I want to show you how in some of these, like launch, I can create text. That's the default. Let's just put some lorem ipsum. And if you have here a block of text, let's see. So what are some of the things that we can do with text? To format, we're going to look into the next video. I'm going to talk about formatting, but this is one chunk of text, and that's one block. Another block that I can create is just like what we call toggle. And all it is you can go here, and I have this toggle list. And this is like from, checklist or things to toggle and other things to toggle. And you can see, and it will continue with the same type of, but each one of these is an individual block, right? So if I open, I can put, it's like almost like a little drawer where I can, things 1, things 2, okay? So I'm putting, and if I close a toggle, things get really organized. So I love using toggles to organize information. Now, other very popular things is, for example, the checkbox. And you can see how I am like doing this, and I can do to-do list, and it will narrow down the list of blocks because there's so many blocks, okay? So to-do list, and I can do that. It's really useful to learn a few shortcuts, but for shortcut for this, it's like the bracket. You open it, and then you hit space, and you're going to also have the same thing for this toggle. Is like this sign, and then you hit enter, and you're going to see that. So this one, the nice thing is that to do 1, to do 2, and as you click on them, it will cross it out. So it can be nice for either like checklist or to-do list, grocery shopping, whatever you want to do. And you can use this in creative ways. Another block that I really like is this like, we have a block for a divider, and it's a very thin, elegant line that goes across the page. And I really like that to divide things, to organize things. And this can be very nice. Other things that, are common, you have the to-do list. So we talked about different blocks. This is the type of block that is just like a regular text. That's the smallest size of a text or default on Notion. I can turn this into a heading 1, and you can see it like becomes really big. The next one in size is going to be heading 2. And as I mentioned earlier, I cannot change like one part of it in like heading 1. It's going to turn the whole thing into 1. So if I want to maybe like use different sizes, I could do this where I could put, this in, I can put maybe this chunk in like text just to, highlight it. And maybe this one I'm going to, you can see that as I highlighted, I have different options to change that block into something else, or always the 6 dots. Also, you can turn into, and let's just create a quote. This is also, and I can, if I select it, I could make it in italics. All of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7. I've 9, 10. So I've created like 10 different blocks. So it's a little bit different from a regular, doc where all the information like it's like, flowing as one. This is like I have about 10 different blocks here alone. So if I do Control A, I want to show you how this looks, right? You can see like the blocks are very like visual, where even this blank space is a block, right? So everything is composed of blocks. So you're putting together different blocks, combining them to create a bigger block, in this case, the page. So we have this other blocks that are useful. The image block, for example, I'm going to put like an image, and I can either select from a Jiffy, put Unsplash, and I'm just, let's just like say that I'm going to put this image. And for images, you can actually change the alignment. So you can put it like, center. So let's put this a little bit smaller so you can see, or you could even put it on the right side. This is, I think very nice. And then you can also add a caption. This is a caption, and the caption goes like right underneath the photo, which is a bit different from, let's say if I have here, this is a caption. This is a little bit different, right? This is like just a block of text. This one, you can see that it's not a separate block of text, but it's inside the block of this image. It's all one block, whereas this one is a separate block. So I'm really repeating block, because I really want you to get used to this idea of not text or not things, but different blocks that we're combining together. One thing is that it's really nice to embed different links. So if I have, for example, the ultimate guide to Notion templates, let's say, and I want to, copy the link and I want to place it here. So if I hit place, it's going to have a pop-up with 3 different options. If I do dismiss, this is exactly what's going to show the string of words for the URL. If I instead do, for example, create a bookmark, this is what's going to do. This is like the default bookmark. And if I do, for example, let's see, create an embed, it depends on what it really depends on the type of things that you are embedding. Sometimes it will show the entire document if it's a Google Drive, or in this case, it shows as a bookmark just because it was a link. But if I, for example, like just go and if I have a table, this is just like a regular table where you can include any information that you want, and you can change, header, the row. And this is like, it's not a database. We're going to talk about that in later units, but this is just really a regular table where I'm adding text. It doesn't have to make sense. These cells are not related to each other, but it's nice sometimes when you're trying to structure information. It's nice to have the option of a table. Now we can also we talked about like these different things. You have like bullet list, a number list, and this you don't even need the launcher. If I do this, it's just going to automatically do that. Or if you do the dash, it's going to automatically call those bullets. We talked about, and this call out is also a very popular block where you're trying to highlight something, and you can, for example, change with different icons or an emoji. These icons are beautiful because they're very aesthetic. They're very nice. You can put, remember, okay? And then you can also, I can make this a little bit like this. And if I hit enter from here, it's just going to go to another block. So if I want to make everything inside the call out, make sure to do shift enter. So you are operating inside this block and not outside. So if I do hit enter regular, it's going to leave the block. If you go to the bottom, you're going to see a lot of we're going to talk about Notion AI, hopefully maybe in a different course, but I think it's a very useful tool. And you have images, bookmarks, you can add videos, audios, you can have code. And this is nice where you can see that the letter is a little bit different. So sometimes you can use this as a way of aesthetically making it look a little bit different. but lots of different, different blocks that you can use. And you have this databases that we're going to look at later. You have table of contents. You have all of these, buttons that, are more for advanced uses, but you can separate into different columns. And we're going to talk about this in the next chapter when we talk about formatting. But for blocks, these are all the different blocks. You can mention, emoji. You can embed all of these. Okay. You can embed a Google map if you'd like. So let's say, you can just add a Google map and it's going to show here as, a separate block. So all of these different options, they're all different blocks that combined with each other are creating this page. See you in the next recording so we can talk about formatting.